attacks. NYSC tie corpus pay rise to minimum wage. From the international scene and on Brexit, Boris Johnson faces showdown in Parliament. On business, ICANN and others to discuss Nigeria's sustainable development. And on sport, EPL indeed targets top 3 finish with Leicester. The details of the news will come shortly after this timeout. Do well to stay with us. Apostle Sullivan Oyama and others react to recent xenophobic attacks. The Senior Sullivan, popularly referred to as the Restoration Apostle, has recently condemned the series of xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in South Africa. Oyama was reacting to the latest attacks on Nigerian-owned businesses and properties by South Africa. On his verified Twitter handle, the foreign minister called the attackers mindless criminals and said police intervention was ineffective to the youth drug dealer in Pretoria. After the governor, deputy governor, the chief judge, speaker of the Sunday at Lutheran Church, Obot that it was God and not him who appointed Mr. Eshin to the position. The governor was in the church for a Thanksgiving service organized by Mr. Eshin and his family for his new appointment. Mr. Emmanuel, who described Mr. Eshin as good man, said he disqualified others who sent people to lobby him for the position. Mr. Eshin also praised God for his appointment, which he said he never dreamt of. He promised to do his best for the growth and the civil service in the state. However, Governor Emmanuel, who announced a donation of 20 million naira to the Lutheran Church and a bus to the church choir, praised the church for creating a channel through its school, the Lutheran School Obot for the training of many political and business leaders in the state. More from the local scene, Mena's name disappears from watch list, 2 billionaire case dropped. There are strong indications that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has abandoned the hunt for the chairman of the defunct pension reform tax team, Mr. Abdulrashid Mena, indicted for 2.1 billionaire pension biometrics scam. It was learned that the EFCC lost interest in the case following the official protection enjoyed by the ex-director, who was also promoted after his controversial reinstatement into the civil service by President Muhammadu Buhari's government in 2017. Sources said the anti-graft body had abandoned the search for Mena, noting that he is more or less a free man now. The EFCC spokesman Wilson Uwajeren said there was no update on the manhunt for the former director. Mena was reportedly nursing a governorship ambition to rule his home state of Borno when he fled the country after he was declared wanted by the anti-graft agency in 2013. He fled to the United Arab Emirates, where he hibernated for 3 years until he was said to have met with the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami in Dubai in 2016, during which he was reportedly assured of his safety in Nigeria. However, shortly after this, Mena's name was reportedly taken off the watch list at the nation's international airports, and he had been visiting the country more regularly from his foreign base. Lastly, from the local scene, NYSC ties corpus pay rise to minimum wage. The National Youth Service Corps has said it will increase the monthly allowance of corps members immediately the federal government starts the payment of the new minimum wage. The NYSC Director General Brigadier General Shaibu Ibrahim said this on Monday while assuring corps members nationwide that efforts will be made to ensure adequate welfare. A statement by the NYSC Director of Press and Public Relations, Mrs. Adenike Adeyemi, on Monday said the DG spoke at the Lagos State Orientation Camp, Iyanapaja, while interacting with the corps members. Adeyemi said corps members have been advised that their monthly allowance would be increased immediately the federal government starts the payment of the new minimum wage to all the public servants nationwide. The NYSC DG said this, adding that efforts were in top gear at all levels to ensure adequate welfare for all corps members. He, however, advised them not to embark on unauthorized journeys that might endanger their lives and earn them sanctions from the NYSC. The DG warned that the violators of the NYSC bylaws would be dealt with in line with NYSC rules. On international scene, Brexit, Boris Johnson faces showdown in Parliament. The details of the news will come shortly after this time out. Stay with us.
Oh, Jesus! Papa, mighty miracle here. Papa, another miracle. Another crutches. Another crutches again. Yeah! Blind. He was blind. He was blind. Oh, Jesus!
Jeremy Corbyn said the Labour Party was ready for a general election, but chartered Northern Ireland Secretary Tony out with no deal. Under the Fixed Terms Parliament Act, Mr. Johnson would require the backing of 2/3 of the UK with or without a deal on 31st October. When Parliament return on Tuesday after recess, they are expected to put forward Legislation 24, a rule that allows urgent debate to be heard. Still on government protest. The protests were sparked by changes to a law that would allow extradition to mainland China, but have since said it was totally unacceptable that her remarks made in private had been recorded and passed to the media. She also denied speculation that she or her government had any role in the leak, following suggestions it could have been orchestrated to regain sympathy and restore some of the public backing she has lost over past weeks. Ms. Lam said the government was very anxious about the violence in the city and that she felt most Hong Kong people don't want to see it.
The earthly spiritual action that will provoke heaven's divine reactions about to happen in the city of Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Open Heavens 2019, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, October, expected.
The equities market opened trading in September on a positive note as investors gained 19 billion. Analysts at Afrinvest Securities Limited said trading activities resumed the week with bargain hunting in Nelson Nigeria PLC, Cement Company of Northern Nigeria PLC, and UBA Group PLC. The all-share index gained 0.14% to settle at 27,565.14 basis points, while the year-to-date loss is to minus 12.3%. The market capitalization of equities listed on the NCA increased from 13.391 trillion naira on Friday last week to 13.410 trillion naira on Monday. Activity level declined as volume and value traded fell by 10.6% and 14% to 111.515 million units and 2.561 billion naira respectively. Performance Edge in Abuja next week for its 47th annual Accountants Conference with the Building Nigeria for Sustainable Growth and Development. It said to some of the key global trends and reforms aimed at enhancing transparency and accountability in the economic institutions. However, I can note that the Federal Inland Revenue Service recently issued letters of substitution to commercial banks in Nigeria, appointing them as tax collecting agent for certain listed customers maintaining accounts with such banks. The institute said a paper would also be presented on public accountability as a driver of transparent leadership and governance. It said the paper would discuss issues bordering on accountability and provide suggestions for improved public accountability to stimulate transparent leadership and governance in the country. According to the statement, the conference will offer a platform for experts and professionals to rub minds on how accountability, the watchword in governance and financial transactions. Sport news is up next, with those who are coming back with the news.
Jesus! Papa, mighty miracle! Another practice again! Yeah! Blind! He was blind! He was blind!
And on sport, the Tigers, currently third in the Group B with 2 points, must beat Korea in the final Group B game on Wednesday with a high score margin to stand a chance of qualifying for the classification round. Korea are also winless at the tournament after they lost their second group games 87-73 to Russia. Meanwhile, despite the consecutive defeat, the Tigers coach Alex Owara expressed his satisfaction at his players' performance and was confident they will get better. More on sport on EPL, Ndidi targets top 3 finish with Leicester. Leicester City midfielder Wilfred Ndidi has predicted a top 3 finish for the Foxes in the English Premier League this season, following their bright start to the new season, Sport Extra reports. Leicester City are third in the EPL table after recording 2 wins and 2 draws. The Nigerian international, who returned to action after a minor hamstring injury against Bournemouth last Saturday, however, admitted the Foxes must win games to realize their dreams. The Super Eagles midfielder played a key role in his side's performances, helping the Foxes keep 9 clean sheets in 38 league games last season. Ndidi, who has been left out of Nigeria's squad to face Ukraine in an international friendly in Dnipro next Tuesday, has played 3 times, scoring 1 goal for the Foxes in the EPL. Finally, on sport, on Olympics, Danube to unleash Oshala Evers on Algeria. FC Barcelona's Assisat Oshala and 5 other overseas-based professionals are expected to lead the Super Falcons in the 2020 Olympic second leg qualifier against Algeria at the Agege Stadium, Lagos State, on Tuesday, which is today. Apart from Oshala, others overseas-based players that have strengthened coach Thomas Danubi's squad are defenders Ngozi Ebere and Osinachi Ehale, midfielder Ngozi Okobi, and forwards Rashidat Ajibade and Francisca Odega. Having beaten Algeria 2-0 in the first leg last week, the Nigerian women's team are seen as favorites to progress to the next round of the qualifiers for the Olympics. If they advance to the second round of the qualifiers, they would meet either Ivory Coast or Mali. Mali, who hosts Tuesday's return leg in Bamako, lost 3-0 to the Ivorians in Abidjan last week, and have a mountain to surmount against the visitors, whose game has been steadily improving over the years. An own goal by an Algerian defender and a second-half strike by midfielder Amarachi Okoronkwo gave Falcons lead ahead of today's home goal. Our social media handles are Facebook, Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, on Twitter at My Celebration TV, on YouTube, Celebration TV. Now that's the size of the news today on Celebration Television News Desk. I am Obozige Ruth, and goodbye for now.